I just don't think I can trust him. The Thing. Not the 1951 version, not the 2011 version, the 1982 John Carpenter's version. And I just gotta point out, the three versions are all different. They're all completely different from each other. The new one's like a prequel of the 1982 version, and the 82 version is everything the 51 version should have been. So I've just got to say that right off the bat. So you got the 1982 version of Kurt Russell, him at his height of badassness in action movies. Keith David, who's the angry black man, which I think he's still... After 20 years, he still plays the angry black man. Then you got Wilford Brimley, who, if he's not fighting diabetes, he's fighting The Thing. So the 2011 The Thing was very smart in doing the prequel to the 1982 version of The Thing, because I don't think you could remake The Thing and make it as good as it is. So the story of The Thing kind of falls into like all the monsters and stuff from the 80s movies. This was a good time for horror movies come out, and a lot of scary ones like Halloween, Friday the 13th, Freddy Krueger, all of them start coming around this time. The Thing is a different film in itself because it's like an alien that has the power to replicate cells to become like a person. It can imitate anyone, anything. It replicated a dog at the very beginning, and that's how it infiltrated their camp. It makes it an antitrust movie. That's what makes it so appealing. There's that human paranoia factor where it's like, I don't know who the fuck I can trust. There's a part in the movie where the guy says, I've known him for 10 years. It's gotta be him. It's because the alien, the Thing, is just so good at replicating the cells and becoming these guys that you can't even tell who's human and who's not. The Thing in 1982 comes, and it's still, for me, it's like iconic. Now, some of the makeup from 1982 obviously doesn't look as good as today's quality, but for its time, it looks amazing. To me, it still looks really good. It still looks really cool. The graphics guy in this movie was only 22 years old when he did this movie, and I gotta say, for 22, he just killed it. You still see like the great makeup, the great animatronics in this thing. There's a scene where you can see like these two faces are like melded together, or like the dog face on one side and a human face on another. It's just so creepy, and the robotics and the animation and the makeup they used on everything, it was pretty amazing. But I tell you what, don't try to eat and watch this movie, because you'll want to puke the whole time. You can hear like the doctor just open the thing up, and you can see stuff dripping down. I mean, it's nasty. And this movie kind of makes it intense because they have those transformation scenes, like the dog's head that splits open, or the guy's like chest cavity opens up and becomes like a giant mouth that just like chomps some dude's arms. It's crazy when you see that, and it's amazing to see how good it actually looked for its time. This movie is over 30 years old, and I still think it looks good, and it's still kind of a scary, intense movie. Now, this movie had a lot of intense scenes. I wish they would almost put it back in theaters, because I think it can compare to like most of the movies nowadays. I think The Ring is shit in comparison to this if you put them next to each other. There's a certain scene in the movie where the floorboards are just getting ripped up by the Thing charging at Kurt Russell, and it's kind of terrifying because he knows it's coming. It's just that anticipation of, you know what's going to happen. You know something's going to come around that corner and come after him. But then it just like shoots the floorboards up, and it's coming right at you like Trimmer style, and it scares the shit out of you. So when I talk about intense scenes, I have to mention the blood testing scene. Throughout the movie, they find out that the Thing is very vulnerable to fire, and there's a scene where Kurt Russell kind of like takes the guys hostage, and he ties them all up, and he's like, okay, I'm going to take blood samples of all of you. And he like heats up this rod, and he like sticks it in the blood. And he's like, if it's normal, it'll just fizzle and nothing will happen. But if it's the Thing, it's going to try to attack, try to defend itself. And you're waiting, he's hitting every one of them, and it's just like, it's no big deal. Until it gets to that one guy, and he's actually one of the Things. He's one of the alien things, and he hits in there, and the Thing jumps up out of the Petri cup. Now for me, that is the most intense scene in the movie, is you sitting there waiting for your blood to get examined. You're just waiting for something to happen. You're going to see if Kurt Russell's right, or if he's just full of shit. And you don't even know if he's human too. That's what makes it such an intense scene. Now, from what I know about this story, it's actually a truer adaptation than the 1951 version, where the 1951 version had Thing from outer space, where it was just like an alien coming down and it came to like kill these guys. This one's like, it replicates them, and it like infiltrates them, and it makes them so they can't trust each other, and it lets it like move freely among the crowd. It's actually just hiding in plain sight. The music in this was really cool. It's very intense and very creepy. That's why I like it. And the fact that it's based in Antarctica, where no one's around to help you, freaks me out even more. It's like, you're stuck there. You pretty much have to fend for yourself. I don't know if this is John Carpenter's best movie, but it's one of my favorites for sure. It's one of my favorite scary movies. If you can't tell by my enthusiasm, I think this movie's great. I think everybody should watch it. Even though it's 30 years old, I do not think this movie's dated at all. So great pick this week. I can't wait to see what we do next week, and I'll talk to you later, Movie Club. Bye.